Welcome to Show Up and Play, the podcast to help you navigate youth sports.
I'm excited to be here.
Created and produced by Etienne Newman.
A software engineer and soccer dad from Canada.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Show Up and Play Substack.
For more great resources.
Today we are diving deep into a topic that's probably on the minds of many Calgary parents.
Choosing the right soccer club for your child.
I'm so excited to have you along for this deep dive.
Me too.
So that's where Etienne's fantastic comparative analysis comes in.
Of Calgary's top amateur soccer clubs.
This isn't just like a random list.
No.
He's broken it down by age group.
Yeah.
And by program type, community versus developmental.
It's really, really good.
What I find really helpful about this analysis is that it gets to the heart of what makes each club and program unique.
For sure.
We're not just talking about names and locations.
Yeah.
We're talking about coaching styles, player pathways,
It's important.
even things like club culture.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start by setting the stage. Can you give us a quick overview of the Calgary youth soccer scene?
Sure.
What are the key players, and what should parents know about the overall structure?
So you've got a wide range of options. From well-established clubs like Foothills and SWU to newer ones like New Frontier and Villains.
Okay.
Each has its own personality and focus.
Yeah.
The main thing to grasp is that two primary streams run through all these clubs.
Okay.
Community and developmental.
Right, and I think that's where a lot of parents start to get confused.
Yeah.
What are the key differences between these two streams?
So think of community as your entry point.
Okay.
It's all about having fun,
Yeah.
learning basic skills, and getting a taste of the game.
It's that first touch,
Right.
getting them out there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's often more affordable.
Right.
It relies heavily on parent volunteers for coaching
Okay.
and is perfect for those just starting out.
All right. So on the other hand, developmental.
Developmental is all about taking things up a notch. It's more structured, it focuses on intensive skill development, and usually involves paid, qualified coaches.
Okay.
You'll see higher costs and commitment levels in these programs.
So community is like dipping your toes in the water.
Yeah,
While developmental is diving headfirst into the pool.
that's a great analogy.
I like that one.
Yeah,
And the decision about which stream to choose really depends on your child's age, their interest level,
for sure.
and your family's priorities.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's dive into these age groups and see how things start to shift as kids get older.
Okay.
Etienne's analysis breaks things down from U4 all the way to U18.
Oh, wow.
Let's start with the littlest ones, the U4 to U6 age group.
Okay.
What are we looking at here?
At this age, honestly, most community programs across different clubs are pretty similar. We're talking once-a-week sessions, parent-led coaching.
Okay.
A huge emphasis on just having fun and developing basic motor skills.
So it's less about specific soccer techniques
Yeah.
and more about just getting those little legs moving.
Exactly. Just get them out there running around.
So for parents with toddlers,
Yeah.
the key deciding factor at this age is probably location and convenience, right?
Exactly. Finding a club that's close to home and easier to register with is going to be key. You're not going to be evaluating coaching philosophies at this stage.
right.
It's about making the experience enjoyable for both you and your child.
For sure.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Now, what happens as kids move into the U7 to U9 age group?
Okay.
Do we start to see bigger differences between the clubs and the programs?
Yeah, we do.
Oh, yeah.
The community programs still prioritize fun,
Yeah.
but practices usually bump up to twice a week,
Okay.
and games start to become a regular part of the experience.
Okay.
Coaching is still largely volunteer-based, but you might see more involvement from club staff in providing guidance and structure.
Is this also where we start to see those cost variations between clubs come into play?
Yes, you'll notice some differences in fees at this age. Some clubs might offer slightly lower costs, while others invest more in equipment or coaching resources, leading to higher fees.
Got it.
Parents also need to start paying attention to the program's emphasis.
Okay.
Does it focus on pure skill development, or is it more about teamwork and game strategy?
Okay.
That can help you align the program with your child's emerging interests.
So it's not just about location anymore.
No.
Parents need to start thinking about their child's individual needs
Yeah.
and how the program caters to those.
Right.
Now, on the developmental side, this is where we start to see a more pronounced shift.
Yes.
While community is still very much about introducing kids to the game,
Yeah.
the developmental stream at this age begins to focus on more structured skill development, delivered by paid, qualified coaches.
Exactly.
Practices are more frequent.
Yes.
And games often take the form of festivals or exhibitions. Wait, festivals and exhibitions instead of traditional leagues.
Right.
Why is that?
It's all about shifting the focus away from winning and toward individual player development.
Okay.
At this age, it's crucial to nurture a love for the game and build a solid foundation of skills without the pressure of competition.
Yeah, that makes sense. But those festivals and exhibitions come at a price. Right?
Yes. The cost of developmental programs starts to become more noticeable at this age.
Got it.
You're paying for the expertise of qualified coaches, the structured curriculum, and the organized events.
Okay.
So parents need to carefully weigh the benefits against the cost and the increased commitment level required.
Okay. So we've got community offering that fun introductory experience
Yeah.
and developmental focusing on early skill development.
Exactly.
How does this dynamic evolve as we move into the U10 to U12 age group?
Things start to get a bit more serious in this age range.
Okay.
On the community side, the focus continues to be on building skills and understanding the game. But practices might decrease a bit as the emphasis shifts towards playing more games.
And I imagine cost variations become even more apparent at this stage.
Absolutely.
Okay.
You'll find a wider range of fees, with some clubs offering very basic programs at lower costs, while others invest more in coaching and resources, resulting in higher fees.
Right.
This is where parents need to carefully consider what they're getting for their money and whether it aligns with their priorities.
So it sounds like you're really starting to see those different club philosophies emerge in this age group.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And on the developmental side,
Okay.
the U10 to U12 age group marks a significant shift.
Yeah.
These programs, often labeled as pre-academy or development academy, are all about intensive skill development and tactical understanding.
Got it.
Practices are even more frequent,
Okay.
and you'll see a structured curriculum designed to prepare players for higher levels of competition.
So this is where those dreams of playing at a competitive level start to take shape.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the costs reflect that you're investing in highly qualified coaches, more training hours, and potentially even travel to tournaments and showcases.
This is fascinating stuff.
Yeah.
But before we dive deeper into the U13 to U18 age group and explore those all-important intangibles, we want to take a quick moment to acknowledge our amazing listeners.
Of course.
Show up and play is completely free.
Yes.
And that's thanks to the generous support of our listeners.
We appreciate you.
If you're finding this deep dive helpful, consider showing your support by making a donation.
Thank you.
You can find the link in our show notes.
It's in there.
Every contribution helps us keep the podcast going.
Yeah.
And provide valuable insights to parents like you.
For sure.
Now let's get back to our exploration of Calgary youth soccer.
Okay.
We've covered community and developmental from U4 to U12. What are some of the things parents should be aware of?
The most important thing is to understand that there's no right or wrong answer.
It's about finding the best fit for your child and your family.
Yeah.
Community programs offer a fantastic entry point to the game, while developmental programs cater to those seeking a more intensive, competitive experience.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's a great point to end part one of our deep dive on.
Yeah.
We've laid the groundwork, explored the two mainstreams, and given you a taste of how things evolve across different age groups.
Yeah.
In part two, we'll delve deeper into the U13 to U18 age group, where things get even more specialized.
For sure.
And then we'll uncover those crucial intangible factors that can make all the difference when choosing a club.
Looking forward to it.
So stay tuned.
All right. Welcome back to part two of our deep dive into Calgary's youth soccer scene.
We left off talking about the U10 to U12 age group,
Right.
where we saw those two distinct paths really start to solidify, community versus developmental.
Yep.
Now let's jump into the teenage years, U13 to U18.
What's the landscape like for community soccer at this age?
Well, it's interesting because while the focus on skill development and game strategy continues, practices might actually decrease in frequency compared to those younger age groups.
Interesting.
It's almost like a recognition that teenagers have busier lives with school, social commitments, maybe even part-time jobs.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's about striking a balance between soccer and everything else going on in their lives.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The games themselves transition to the full 11v11 format. Which is exciting for those kids who've been dreaming of playing like their favorite pros.
For sure.
And while there are still cost variations between clubs, they tend to settle into a more predictable range
Okay.
within this age bracket.
So for parents with teens in community programs,
Yeah.
what are those key comparison points they should be considering?
Location convenience remains a huge factor, especially as those driving responsibilities might be shifting to the kids themselves.
All right.
Team commitment expectations are another big thing to look at.
Gotcha.
Some clubs might have a more relaxed approach, while others expect a higher level of dedication in terms of attendance and participation.
Okay.
And of course, cost always plays a role.
Of course.
Yeah.
It sounds like this age group is all about finding that sweet spot between maintaining a passion for soccer while navigating the realities of teenage life.
Ah, you nailed it.
Huh.
Now, on the developmental side,
Okay.
things get really interesting.
Okay.
In the U13 to U18 age range.
Right.
This is where we see programs specifically designed for those players who are seriously committed to the game and are aiming for high-level competition.
So we're talking about potential college scholarships, provincial teams, maybe even aspirations for a professional career.
You got it. These programs prioritize tactical mastery, game performance, and that intense, high-level competition.
Got it.
You'll find highly qualified, paid coaches leading the way, and practices remain frequent, typically 2 to 3 times a week, sometimes even more.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I can only imagine the game schedule is pretty intense at this level.
It is.
Yeah.
We're talking 16 to 20 or more games per season.
Wow.
Significant tournament involvement.
Okay.
And potentially even travel outside of Calgary.
So these programs are practically a part-time job for both the players and their families.
You could say that.
And that level of commitment comes with a price tag.
For sure. We're talking about the highest costs of any program type.
Okay.
Reflecting the elite coaching, the demanding schedule, and those potential travel expenses.
Okay. So for parents considering this path for their teenager, what are the crucial factors to weigh when choosing a club?
Reputation is key at this level. Look for clubs that consistently produce strong teams and players who advance to those higher levels of play.
Gotcha.
Dig into the coaching staff's experience and qualifications.
Okay.
Do they have a track record of developing elite athletes? Also, consider the balance between league play and tournaments.
Okay.
Some programs might emphasize one over the other.
Yeah.
So align that with your child's preferences and goal.
It's like putting together a puzzle, isn't it?
Right.
All these different pieces to consider.
Yeah.
And location is still important.
For sure.
Especially with the potential for increased travel demands. Factor in commute time.
Right.
And how that fits into your family's already busy schedule.
Absolutely.
And lastly, don't be afraid to discuss the program's track record for player advancement.
Yeah.
Do they have connections to college scouts?
Right.
Do they offer guidance on pathways to professional opportunities?
That's important.
Great points. Now, Etienne's analysis doesn't just stop at comparing these top clubs.
Yeah.
He also dedicates a whole section to what he calls intangibles.
Yeah.
These are those factors that aren't always easily captured in a chart, but can make a world of difference in a child's soccer experience.
For sure.
Can you walk us through some of these?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
One of the first things Etienne highlights is club philosophy and culture.
Okay.
It's crucial to understand a club's values.
Yeah.
And see if they align with your own.
For sure.
Do they prioritize winning above all else? Or do they emphasize player development and a positive team environment?
Yeah.
This can really shape your child's overall experience.
And how can parents get a sense of a club's philosophy and culture?
Etienne suggests starting with the club's website.
Okay.
Look for mission statements, values, or even coach bios that give you a glimpse into their approach.
Got it.
You can also reach out to the club directly and ask about their philosophy.
Yeah.
Don't hesitate to ask questions.
That's a good tip. Now, what about the coaching staff?
Right.
We've talked about their qualifications.
Yeah.
But what else should parents be paying attention to?
Go beyond just the basic credentials.
Okay.
And try to get a feel for the coaches' personalities and coaching styles.
Right.
Do they have experience working with specific age groups or skill levels?
Yeah.
Do they prioritize positive communication, player feedback?
Yeah.
You want a coach who not only knows the game, but also knows how to connect with players on a personal level.
It's about finding that right balance
Sure.
between technical expertise
Right.
and those all-important interpersonal skills.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And don't underestimate the power of word of mouth.
Word of mouth, yeah.
Talk to other parents.
Mm-hmm.
Read online reviews.
Yeah.
Get a sense of the overall vibe and atmosphere within the club.
Got it.
Is it a supportive and encouraging environment? Or is it overly competitive and pressure-filled?
Yeah, good point. So it's like doing your due diligence.
Yeah.
Just like you would with any other major decision.
Precisely.
And speaking of due diligence,
Right.
let's circle back to the importance of location convenience.
Mm-hmm.
We've touched on this before.
We have.
But it's worth reiterating.
Yeah.
Especially in a city like Calgary.
For sure.
With its sprawling neighborhoods.
Yeah.
And sometimes unpredictable traffic.
Right.
Travel time can be a major drain on your time and energy.
Absolutely.
Think about those weeknight practices.
I know.
And weekend games.
Mm-hmm.
Adding an extra 30 minutes or an hour of driving each way
yeah.
can really impact family life.
For sure.
And lastly, if the club offers trial sessions or open houses, take advantage of those.
Absolutely.
It's a fantastic opportunity to see the program in action.
Yeah.
Meet the coaches, get your child involved.
Right.
It's like a test drive before you commit.
It is.
It's a chance to get a feel for the environment and see if it's a good fit for your child's personality and learning style.
Exactly.
Now, we've covered a lot of ground.
Yeah, we have.
From those top clubs to those intangible factors.
Right.
But Etienne's analysis also points out that sometimes those big-name clubs aren't the right fit for every family.
No, they're not.
So let's shift gears
and
explore some of those local alternatives that he highlights.
Sounds good.
This is where things get really interesting for me.
Okay.
I love the idea of finding those hidden gems within the Calgary soccer scene. What are some of the options Etienne suggests parents consider?
He starts by talking about community association soccer programs.
Okay.
These are often hyper-local, run by volunteers, and offer a more laid-back and affordable approach to the game.
Okay.
They're a great option for families who prioritize convenience and community involvement.
So if you're not quite ready for the intensity of a developmental program, or if you're looking for something closer to home, these community association programs might be a great starting point.
Absolutely.
And finding them is surprisingly easy.
Yeah.
Etienne recommends checking out the City of Calgary's Community Association directory.
Okay.
Their websites usually have information about sports programs, including soccer.
Right.
He even provides some specific examples.
He does.
Like Calgary Eastside Memorial FC, Calgary West Hills United Soccer Club, and Calglen FC. Just to name a few.
That's awesome.
It's amazing how many options are out there
I know
that we might not even be aware of.
Right.
Now, for those kids who crave soccer year-round, or maybe those who are looking for a different style of play, Etienne highlights indoor soccer programs. Calgary has some fantastic indoor soccer centers.
Yes.
And many of them offer youth programs.
For sure.
So this is a great way to keep those skills sharp during the winter months.
Yeah.
Or explore a faster-paced,
right,
more technical version of the game.
You got it.
And finding these programs is simple.
Yeah.
Just search online for Calgary Indoor Soccer Center's kids programs.
Okay.
Or check out the websites of major facilities like the Calgary Soccer Center.
Good tip.
Now, for families looking for something a little more specialized, Etienne mentions private soccer academies and schools. Can you tell us a bit more about those?
These are organizations that focus specifically on soccer skill development.
Okay.
They offer supplemental training camps, programs that go beyond what you might find in a traditional club setting.
Got it.
They're a good option for players who are really passionate about the game and want that extra edge.
So it's like taking those soccer skills to the next level.
Exactly.
And you can find these academies by searching online for Calgary Private Soccer Academy Kids.
Okay.
Or Calgary Soccer Schools Youth.
Good to know.
Great tips. And finally, we have the City of Calgary recreation programs.
Right.
These are often overlooked.
Yeah.
But they can be a fantastic option for families seeking an affordable and accessible soccer experience.
For sure.
They might not have the same level of intensity or competition as some of those club programs.
Yeah.
But they're a great way to introduce kids to the game
Sure.
and develop basic skills in a fun and supportive environment.
Absolutely.
It's all about finding that right balance
between
cost, convenience, and the level of commitment you're looking for.
Exactly.
And you can find information about City of Calgary recreation programs on their website.
Okay.
Or by checking out the program guides for your local recreation center.
Awesome.
So as you can see, the options are pretty much endless.
They are.
When it comes to youth soccer in Calgary,
Right.
from those top-tier clubs to those hidden community gems, there's something for everyone.
And that's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
It's about finding that perfect fit.
For sure.
For your child and your family.
Now, before we move on to the final part of our deep dive,
okay,
where we'll distill all of this information into actionable steps for parents,
right,
we want to take a moment to acknowledge the power of community support.
Of course.
Show up and play wouldn't be possible without our amazing listeners.
Thank you.
And we know that our listeners are full of talented and passionate individuals
for sure
who are running their own businesses and offering valuable services.
Absolutely.
So if you're looking to reach a targeted audience of engaged parents in the Calgary area, consider advertising on Show Up and Play.
That's a great idea.
It's a great way to spread the word about your business and support the podcast at the same time.
It's a win-win.
We appreciate every listener.
We do.
And we believe in the power of connecting and supporting each other within our community. In the final part of this deep dive, we'll bring it all together and provide you with a clear roadmap for navigating this decision-making process.
Sounds good.
Stay tuned.
We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the final part of our deep dive into Calgary youth soccer.
We've covered a lot of ground, haven't we?
We have, from understanding the difference between community and developmental programs to exploring those top clubs and uncovering some hidden gems in those local alternatives.
It's been fun.
We've thrown a lot of information your way.
We have.
But now we want to make sure you walk away feeling empowered, not overwhelmed.
Exactly. So let's shift gears and talk about how to actually use all this information to make a decision that's right for your child and your family.
Etienne's analysis lays out some really helpful steps.
It does.
That we're going to adapt for our conversation today.
Okay, sounds good.
So first things first, go back and revisit that comparative analysis we talked about in part 1. Really soak in the key differences between those community and developmental programs. And get a sense of how each club positions itself within the Calgary soccer landscape.
It's important.
It's like taking a step back and looking at the big picture before diving into the details.
Exactly.
Then, the most crucial step, head over to those club websites.
Okay.
Remember, Etienne provides links in his analysis.
He does. It's super helpful.
Making it super easy for you to jump right in.
Yeah.
It's like going on a virtual tour of each club.
That's a good way to put it.
Explore the program details, the fee structures, the practice schedules, the game schedules. Gather all the information you need to make an informed choice.
Exactly.
It's also a good chance to get a sense of the club's online presence. And how they communicate with parents.
That's a good point.
Is the website easy to navigate?
Yeah.
Do they provide clear and concise information?
For sure.
Those are great points.
Thanks.
Now, once you've done your research,
it's time to narrow down those choices based on your priorities. Whether it's program focus, cost, location, coaching style, or any of those intangible factors we discussed. Create a short list of 2 or 3 clubs that really stand out.
Makes sense.
This is where you start to hone in on those clubs that truly resonate with you and your child's aspirations.
Absolutely.
And once you have that short list, don't hesitate to reach out to the clubs directly. Contact them with any questions you might have, no matter how big or small.
That's a good point.
Think of it as a chance to have a conversation. Get a sense of their responsiveness and see if they're a good fit for your communication style.
For sure.
If they offer information sessions or trial sessions, absolutely take advantage of those opportunities.
For sure.
It's a chance to meet the coaches face-to-face. See the program in action. And get your child involved. Absolutely.
It's the best way to get a feel for the environment and see if it aligns with your child's personality and learning style.
Exactly.
And finally, a practical tip. Be aware of registration deadlines. Popular programs, especially in the developmental stream, can fill up quickly.
I know.
So mark those dates on your calendar. And be prepared to register early.
Good to know.
It's about being proactive and securing your spot.
For sure.
Now, as we wrap up this deep dive,
Okay.
we want to leave you with one final thought.
Okay, I'm listening.
Choosing the right soccer club is a personal decision.
Yeah.
There's no one-size-fits-all answer.
Right.
Trust your gut, weigh those priorities,
Mm-hmm.
and choose what feels right for your child and your family.
Absolutely.
At the end of the day,
Yeah.
it's about fostering a love for the game
Mm-hmm.
and creating a positive and enriching experience.
I love that.
We hope this deep dive has empowered you to make that decision with confidence.
Yeah, me too.
And remember, whether your child dreams of scoring the winning goal
Yeah.
or simply enjoys the camaraderie of being part of a team,
Mm-hmm.
the most important thing is that they have fun, develop those skills,
Right.
and create lasting memories on the soccer field.
Thanks for joining us on this journey.
Be sure to subscribe to Etienne Newman's Show Up and Play Substack for more insights and resources.
Check it out.
And stay tuned for our next deep dive into the world of youth sports.
Can't wait.
Until then, keep playing.